if anybody's changed their mind in this whole thing, it's probably, or it isn't probably, it is the Remainers who were influenced by Project Fear. Yeah. And one of the latest Remainers I saw on Twitter today was the chap from Do You Want to Be a Millionaire? His name is Chris Tarrant, who said he revoted Remain, but he's now so sick to death of the
all
Ken
actors are paid off.
Oh, sorry. He said he's so sick to death of the attitude of the European Union that even now he wants to leave. He's completely changed his mind and he's a leaver. So I think there's no point in having a second referendum. We're not that there's no point. It would be wrong because we had what we were told was going to be a once-in-a-lifetime vote. The only concession I would make is that, yes, let's have another referendum in 45 years' time. The amount of time that we had to wait from 1975 until we had the last 41 years, from the between referendums, and then see how people think about it in 41 years. The other thing they're talking about now, of course, is the meaningful vote, which is going to be on the withdrawal agreement. This is the dangerous one because I've already told you what can happen here. The great danger is they'll say, well, we have, they could defeat this in the House of Commons. Mrs May then, or if she's succeeded by somebody else, then goes off and extends the transition period. They get rid of UKIP from the European Parliament, and then they'll see how long they can extend it so they can bludgeon the British people into submission so they don't actually leave at all, or have a withdrawal agreement where we don't really leave, but it lays the way open for rejoining in a couple of 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time, because you're in a kind of half-in, half-out position, which is how countries join the European Union anyway. They have association agreements where they start to obey their laws and they have open borders. So we'll be in that kind of, instead of transitioning out, we'll be in a position where we can very quickly transition back in. And that's the great fear. So what can we do about it? Well, I'm going to wind up now, open to any questions you've got. The referendum, we didn't win the war, we won a battle. The referendum, getting the referendum was a battle. We won the battle. Winning the referendum was a battle, and we won the battle. But we have to continue to struggle to win the war, which is to leave the European Union, to set ourselves free from the European Union. Because if we don't, then we will never get out. We have to win that war, and as I know I'm biased, but the only party that actually really wants to leave is UKIP. We've seen the Tories cave in, where one minute they were going to sack Mrs May, and then the next minute they're all banging the table in appreciation of her wonderful skills as a negotiator. Tory MPs I'm talking about. And of course the Labour Party, which is a total mystery because me and Jeremy Corbyn only ever had one thing in common in our political life, which we were both Leavers, until he got elected as leader of the Labour Party, and now he's a Remainer, which is all a bit odd, but there you are. And why a party that is supposed to be socialist, although I don't agree with them, but that's what they're supposed to be, would want to shackle itself to the European Union is beyond me. Don't they realise what it is? It's what Bob Crow used to call it. It's a bosses' union. It's about international business, international finance that wants to control regulation on business. They lobby for what they can live with and what they can implement in their businesses, but smaller businesses struggle with, go out of business. They get more share of the market. They want to constantly flood European countries with cheap labour, which benefits them. And why on earth would the Labour Party be in favour of that? That is a total mystery to me.
They're not for the working man.
Well, they're not. I totally agree. That's where we are. We have won 2 big battles. We now have to win the war, and the only way to do that is to carry on fighting. Thank you.